Hello, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru coming at you with a new DC announcements video. We've heard from James Gunn in the last week talking about several projects he wants to get on down the line and working on. We have seen the fruits of his labor with things like Suicide Squad before, and his recent animated series Creature Commandos for those of you that have the HBO Max. We also are currently getting from other creatives over at DC season 5 of Harley Quinn right now, with a season 6 being announced for next year. Really exciting stuff for those of you that like the series Harley Quinn, adult animated series likened to Family Guy. Later on down the year, we've got the announcements of things like Superman in July. Really excited to see the man in red and blue take off. And then in August we get season 2 of Peacemaker live action series. Really excited about that. But I've also got a little bit of notes jotted down for upcoming projects. We've got Clayface and the Swamp Thing are also filmed, independent films. They want to be directed, which we're believing they're going to be live action. Elseworld, but we don't know what story narrative they're going to be. Like they said, the first Batman project is expected to be Clayface some point in 2026. By next year, they're going to hopefully have it filmed or begin filming. We're also hearing about Robert Pattinson talk on the red carpet press about hopefully getting Batman Part 2 filmed. We're really excited about that coming out. So far, it's still slated for a summer of 2026 release, but given that it hasn't started filming yet, we're not sure if we're going to get that release date yet. So moving on from then, we have heard from Colin Farrell saying he will reprise his role as Penguin in Batman Part 2, but he will not return in the limited series. But we're hoping to see Sophia Falcone and many others appear as side cameos, if not get their own mini-series, which would be really cool to see also from Matt Reeves. We know we had projects like Arkham Asylum that was talked about and then never done, so they had many opportunities to do stuff. So moving on from there, we've got the Dynamic Duo movie. They talk about two Robins, but their backstories being significantly changed. So interesting to hear about that. We've also got the Blue Beetle series animated in development. My Adventures with Green Lantern, which sounds like a spin-off of My Adventures with Superman, which I liked the first season of that. Go back on my channel and check out my review for that. We also got looks like new Green Lantern being showed off, Jessica Cruz. Also Superpowers, a series about heroes going to school being taught by Martian Manhunter. I'm not sure how many people are going to be interested in that type of show. But as far as movies go, live action movies, we've got Sergeant Rock still in development. We've heard about Daniel Craig walking away from the project given his last few films not making as much money as he's wanted them to be. Then we've also got the Teen Titans movie in development, which I thought was very interesting. They've got a live-action Teen Titans movie before a Justice League film, which I thought was interesting to give a sidekick of straight-up movie before your heroes. Then, of course, we've got the rumor of the Deathstroke versus Bane film. I think that would be really cool for Batman fans, but then again, you have to have an established Batman to set up two villains going after each other. So I think right now might be a complex, convoluted time to introduce that storyline. Then, of course, James Gunn has talked about his Authority project he wants to be brought into DC. This is also going to be a convoluted comic book story to tell, kind of like The Watchmen, when I believe it was Zack Snyder did it a few years ago for Warner Brothers Discovery. But I really liked his rendition of it. And then, of course, a few years later, they did the TV series for HBO. So like I said, Peacemaker is coming in August, which is our next live-action project after Superman. I believe they're going forward with more Creature Commandos next year. And of course, Lanterns we're going to be getting by early 2026. Really excited about this live-action Lanterns film. Amanda Waller will be getting a series after Peacemaker. Very exciting stuff. We've also heard about the Paradise Lost, this Amazonian-focused island about the origins of the Amazonians before Wonder Woman's time. Really cool to dive on into that. Also, Booster Gold is rumored to have a series down the line, and a lot more projects have been announced. But that's just a little bit of the news coming out of DC. We've also got a little bit of horror movie news coming out. To go into a little bit of that, we've got Linda Carlini has been in talks to star in the A24 Peacock original series Crystal Lake. This is the prequel to the Friday the 13th saga series. I think it would be a really interesting cast for her to be chosen. A lot of people remember her from the young live-action Velma from Scooby-Doo's. We also got Matthew Lillard, which was also in those Scooby-Doo's, and from the Scream franchise returning to Scream, as well as David Arquette as Dewey, which is really fantastic. I loved his character. It was sad to see him go in Scream 5, but it seems like this new Scream project they're working on, Scream 7, will be returning everyone to their roles, even dead characters. Sydney is coming back. So a lot of people, Nev Campbell, everyone is returning. So fantastic to hear about that. It sounds from the reports this is going to be the last Scream movie, so they want it to be the biggest one yet. Moving on, we've heard about there being a Michael Myers series being made, a reboot of the Halloween tale, not including Jamie Lee Curtis. She said she would not be a part of the project. She said it would be the first project of many, apparently, that they're going to move along and rewrite her character's story without her in it. So very fascinating about that. Mike Flanagan is in the process of making a Carrie reboot series as well. Carrie, the teenage girl that had psychic powers. Many people know the Stephen King story. Is getting another reboot, this time in the show format. I think this will do well for people that love the story. As well as The Exorcist has gotten a new announcement for a new film after the terrible results of the last film. They have gone forward with that franchise. We have heard about the final installment of The Conjuring being made, the third one. So really fascinating stuff in the horror realm. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Stay caught up by staying subscribed to my Instagram and my threads at Scene Screen Guru. Until next time, guys, have a good one, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye bye.